Hello, Flosstube. My name is Laura, and I'd like to welcome you to Stitching by the Shore, my channel all about cross stitch with a little bit of paper crafting thrown in too. This is going to be another Flosstube Extra. I was out of town last Friday, and so I was not able to film my regular Flosstube. Last Friday, you notice I did an extra about my full finishes. They really need to get done, so I thought that would be a fun video. And I filmed it a couple days before we left, and then we were away. And now I'm back, but last week I would have talked about October and all of the fun stuff going on in October. So I thought I would bring you a very quick video, hopefully, October 1st, to talk about some of the October stuff, so that then on Friday the 4th, we can just jump right into all of the stitching and into all the things that are going to happen this October, or possibly happen this October. We'll see. So welcome, and I hope you enjoy what we have to talk about, and then join me on Friday for my regular video, please. Okay, so 3 things I want to talk about. First, my pumpkin birthday stitch along. Second, I Spy. And third, the trading card deadline. So pumpkin birthday Sal. How did it come about? I have a birthday in October 23rd, and I just like to celebrate all month long. Why not? You know, I mean, we should all just celebrate ourselves and really just, have fun with it. Doesn't, just because you're turning 55 doesn't mean you can't enjoy your birthday all month long. So that's what I'm going to do. And I've done for the last few years. So basically, I thought it would be fun to just have whoever wanted to join me and have a little October birthday fun. I love pumpkins, the colors of the fall, all of the kind of October fall-y stuff that happens. So I had thought Pumpkin Birthday Sal would work really nicely in October. And so that's what I've started a few years back. And we just carry over the same hashtag from year to year, which means you can carry over your projects from year to year. If you want to start something new, fantastic. If you don't, no worries. Go with what you've done before. I'm going to show you some new stuff that I will try to get to, and I'm going to show you 4 projects that I'm carrying over from other October starts. So I have a little bit of everything here. Just the idea of it is a project that has, maybe it has a pumpkin on it. It doesn't have to be an orange pumpkin. You know, there's lots of colors of pumpkins out there. Maybe the fabric is pumpkin colored. Maybe the floss is pumpkin colored. If it's pumpkin adjacent somehow, if you're figuring out how you can make a connection, go for it. It's just a little bit of fun and a chance to get some stitches in and to think about all of us who are stitching pumpkins maybe this month long. So that's where it come about. If you've known me with challenges and things like that, you know that I'm very relaxed about it. No rules and keeping things really stringent or anything like that. I just want you to have fun and stitch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you 4 projects that I have carried over that were started in previous Octobers. I don't have my book here that tells me which year they were started, but that's okay. I'm just going to go from smallest to largest, I think. And then I will show you projects that I had picked out that I said, ooh, I'd like to stitch those for October. I picked those out at, the end of last year, beginning of this year. And then I have a few others that I've picked up along the way that also may get started or may not. We'll see. I have no fabrics chosen for those. So it's always like, let's just pick one, see what happens kind of thing. So let's jump right in. Smallest to largest on these. So the first one is October's Marigold, and that is from my garden journal. It's from the garden journal from Cottage Garden Samplings. So this is the October one. And you can see right here, there is a little pumpkin on it. Plus some of the oranges in there would be considered pumpkin colored. So that's that one. Now, I didn't iron anything. This one hasn't seen work probably this year, so it actually looks pretty good. But some of the other ones you'll notice are a little bit wrinkled. I did start all 12 of these. I started them within their month, so this is kind of a default one, but it did get started in October, and I'll show you where I am with it. So that's where that one is. Now, if you remember, I have been changing these and just doing one color. I'm thinking though, given how much I've stitched so far, I'm not really sure I want to pull out probably the black because I like that orange, but I think I'm going to keep it. So this one I'm going to go back to what the pattern looks like and keep the two colors on that. I don't have the actual names of all of the fabrics. You'll see them sometime this month. If it's one you really, really want to know, then I can look it up for you, but you'll see it in October. And then we have these pumpkins down here too. So we had a few different sets of pumpkins. I think this side is all done. So now we just have marigolds and words, and that's it. So that's the first one. That one I try to do, those monthly ones, I try to give myself an idea, will I finish it this year? And I'm thinking no, I'm thinking that one's going to be a 2025 finish. Several of them, by keeping them just in the month, it's taking me about 2 years because I have enough projects. I have a healthy number of projects. So some of them got finished at the beginning of this year, November and December, May, because they got started 2 years ago. And then most of these other ones that in the last, say, 6 months or so, I'm really hoping to get them done in 2025. So that'll be my goal. My next 3 that I have that I have already started are digitals. So I just have to find them in my files here. And it's funny because sometimes they look completely different when I see them digitally because I have changed them up a little bit. So here it is. All right, this one here I know is a Jardin Privé, and it is a Happy Halloween Pumpkin Party. And I don't think I'll get it done this October, but that's where I am right there. I do like kind of that gray look a lot of times with the Halloween sort of stuff, grayish, bluish. So you'll see a lot of that when I start pulling more stuff out. There's the one pumpkin there, and then we have the 3 other pumpkins. I started the white one last time I worked on this. It's kind of tough to see the white, but as you can see, it does pop when it is around other things as well. Now the words pumpkin party, I'm not going to put on. I'm going to see what it looks like when I get everything else finished, and then I might add maybe another bat or something like that. I'm not sure I'm going to add those extra words on it. So there's that one. I'm thinking a 2025 finish on that one, if I had to guess, if you were going to really push me and ask. Okay, so this next one, this was kind of the bigger project. I don't have any really, I might, I'll know on Friday if I'm going to start stitching it, but I might have a bigger project that I'll start in October. I have a lot of smaller ones. I mean, some are mediums. This one's kind of a bigger project that I started last year. It's Autumn Still Life, and it is from Owl Forest Embroidery. Now, I am using the DMC colors, although one of them I did have to change. It's a little bright this afternoon, so it's going to look a little bright there. And then I am going to pull out a couple of my own variegated, probably oranges in those shades, and throw them in, or want the middle sunflower may get a variegated. This one I didn't. We'll see on the middle one, or I kind of like that one, so we'll see. This is where that one is. I did work on this not that long ago. I'm sure I had it for a prompt of some sort. But I believe, for example, the color, yeah, that is here plus over here, that was a DMC change that I made from their suggested ones. That one suggestion was a little bit too bright. All the others look nice though. So that's where it is at the moment. I'm almost sure this is a fox and rabbit. That I do know. I think it's ocean air, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So that will definitely get some time. I did have to do some frogging last time I had it, and so that kind of slowed that down a little bit there too. I'm not even sure that'll be a 2025 finish. We'll see what happens the end of this year, and then how it gets pulled out for challenges moving forward. That could be a 2026 though. And then the last one, oh, I'd really love, it's not going to get done this year, but it'd be really nice to get this done for next year, is my November gnome. So this is the set of 3, whoops, I just lost it. This is the set of 3 that comes when you buy that set from Wonder Stitch UA. And if I flip it around and I make it bigger, this is the gnome I'm working on. And you can see the gnome's got a little pumpkin right there. I have not gotten to that side, so I probably, I don't think I'm necessarily, well, maybe I'll come around and work on the pumpkin a little bit during October. We'll see. So that's where it is. And there I am. My original goal for 2024 was to get this side done. I might throw that out the window if I do want to work on the pumpkin, because that would be over here. But that's where it looks. It's washing out a little bit, but it is on kind of a creamy sort of fabric. Maybe if I go back here. I love these gnomes. They're so much fun to stitch, but there is a lot to them. They are not small stitches. So those are the 4 pieces that I had started in previous Octobers, and would like to see some, some more progress. I won't see, I believe, any finishes on them this October, but if I get some good progress on them, I think that will be good enough. I will be happy. Now, let me tell you about the potentials for starts this year. The first several were ones that I had already chosen as starts for this month, and I'll tell you when we switch over to the newer ones. Autumn Dreams from Cottage Garden Samplings. I've always loved the colors in this one. I do think I would stitch the whole thing. I know people have stitched different parts of these and it looks so cool that way. And some of them, I think I would probably do that as well. But I really love the colors of everything here. And I love that little pumpkin house and the bird. So I could see all of that being done. I do like the fabric that it is shown being stitched on. So I could see kind of along a peachy kind of line of fabric. So we'll see on that one. All right, next. This one is Halloween Quaker from the Heart Needle Art by Wendy. And this is done in both, so it's done on Classic Colorworks. It's got DMC alternatives. You know, sometimes with Wendy's patterns, Needle Art by Wendy, I do change some of the colors. So I don't know if it would look 100% like this. This would be fun maybe on a purple. I think a lot of those colors, the only thing that wouldn't pop, well, it would depend. If it's a light enough purple, then these would work. I couldn't do a dark purple. So we'll see what happens. That's a thought. Just to kind of shake it up a little bit. This one's so cute. This is from Cottage Garden Samplings, and it's the Witch. I don't think I did any of these. These are the Snowman Collector Series from, I think it's last year. Yes, last year. I have maybe 4 or 5 of these because I kind of, selectively chose ones from last year. And I haven't done any of them. And I just, this one's so much fun. I thought that would be a great one to start. Now, what would I do for fabric? That's a good question. I'm not 100% sure on this one. I'd have to throw the floss on some things and see what happens. But that one I really do want to start. And then the last one, so I had 4. Yep, I had 4 that I had chosen. The last one was Pumpkin House from Hello from Liz Matthews. But I only want to stitch, let me see if I have, oh, here we go. I only want to stitch the top part. So that's all I would stitch. Would I have a border with it then? I don't know. That's a good question. I think I would potentially, I'd do it without the border. If I had enough fabric, do you remember when I did the, I'm looking at it. So when I think to start this, I'll pull it. I think it was called Midnight Watch from Blackbird Designs. I used a deep purple fabric. I think it'd be a lot of fun to do the same fabric on this one. On the Blackbird, I did not do the border. So then maybe I'll skip the border here as well. Do the other stuff with it. And I think that would be a lot of fun. So, as soon as I saw this one, it's a really cool pattern. And, it's really neat how she does these with the 2 different fabrics. But as soon as I saw it, I said, I just want to stitch the top part. I thought that was just so much fun. And I really enjoy that. And you've got all the pumpkins on the house. And you've got the black cat. And just super cute. I think the hanging spiders from the border I would not do. There are a couple hanging from the plants, which I may or may not do. We'll see. It might be a spider-free one. Now, I think these all, last time I went shopping at Salty Yarns, I think I picked up all of these. So that's where these came from. And they're smaller, so I think they would be fun to potentially add into the mix as well. Primrose Cottage Stitches, Halloween Kisses. These are quick stitches, so I could really see stitching this one over October and throwing it in for the Pumpkin Birthday Sal. And when I've been making these, have I fully finished any of them? Maybe one. I've been making them, I think, leaners. They're on 18 count. I mean, I'm doing them on 18 count. 2 by 3.5. You know, they could make ornaments, but I think I'd have to see and go back and see what I did. If I've used them as leaners, I might continue to do that with this one. Then there is the Blackbird's Autumn from Robin Pickens. And I talked about this when I showed you after I bought these. I would not do, I don't even know if I do kind of this element, just kind of like a sun, but you know, the kind of a quilt sort of square looking thing, or the borders. I would just do this intersection right here. So I'd have the pumpkins and the blackbird and maybe the flowers up top. I think I would do everything else first and then make a decision on that. So that would make it a lot smaller and a little bit more, a little quicker of a pattern. So there's that one. And then the final one I got was from Little Robin Designs, Slightly Spooky. And these are super cute. These are small enough that I would do these probably as ornaments. I'm looking to add a few more. I'm looking at the stuff that I have hanging. I've pulled out a few of my Halloween things that I'm hanging now. And I could use some more little Halloween hanging ornaments off of my shelves. And I think the first one that I would do, especially because it is my pumpkin birthday, I would do this one, October 31. And it's got the pumpkins and the birds. So I think that's that. So those are some potentials. There is one more that might be a potential start, but I'll wait till October. So you're going to have to come back for that one, and I'll let you know there. That is in a nutshell. Now, I'm not saying those are the only things I may or may not stitch that are related to the Pumpkin Birthday Stitch Along. In my challenge book, which is right here, I keep a little challenge notebook, and I like to decorate and color in the different things when I achieve something. I do have a section for my Pumpkin Birthday Stitch Along, my Sal stitches, and, oh, you're not gonna be able to see. And I'm gonna write down as I stitch them what I stitch from both old and new. And I'll probably designate old and new somehow or other, just so I know. But I reserve the right to add or subtract or however I want to do it from there. Next, speaking of October, if you're on my Facebook page, you would have seen that the prompts came out for the October I Spy. And by the time this video goes up, they should be on the community tab of my channel. So you do not have to be a part of Facebook to play along. You can still play along just as easily. Just check my community tab. So I Spy. What is I Spy? If you're new, you know, many of us in the stitching world like to play different stitching games to just kind of help us work on different things and maybe pull out projects that we hadn't pulled out. Or, you know, sometimes when you count and you do sort of things like that, it gets you a little bit farther than you might have been if you didn't. And there's lots and lots of games and groups and just fun stuff out there. And I just wanted to do something kind of to jump in on that. And I said, oh, this will be fun. Let's do I Spy. Because I thought that one would, you know, I could come up with fun prompts. It's very open-ended. You are able to kind of interpret the challenges in any way that works for your projects, and then you decide on what your goal is. So I don't dictate any of that. I just give you a list of 10 prompts and you run with it. So this is in my book already. Oh, see, I'm going to read them out to you, so it's not going to be able to see. Generally with my I Spy, on the other side here, I have an acrostic already set up for, I think it's Magazine Monthly. I do a couple acrostics, and that's one of them. Yeah, I'll put this on this side. Maybe it won't be so bright on that side. But what I do with these is I set up my prompts, and then I have little boxes that I color in. I don't have any of them listed yet. I am not one of those that plans out the month in its entirety at the beginning of the month. I look at the prompts, and as I come and go and I have projects or feel like either what I want to work on, I'll see if it fits. And then when I have letters or different clues that I haven't really filled, then I start digging through my projects and we start filling them that way. But if you want to play along, please do so. You do not have to be, like I said, part of Facebook. You don't have to do before and after pictures. If you're on Facebook, you're welcome to. I am a fail at the before pictures. I'd really like to be better at getting the after pictures up just so I can show the projects I worked on. But I am, again, it's all very much what works for you and what's easiest for you kind of idea. So our prompts are a pumpkin. That one's pretty easy for this month because most of my projects well, no, I shouldn't say that, but a lot of my projects will have pumpkins on them. Something that starts with the letter O. I'm thinking owl forest would work with that, or just if I had something that had an actual owl on it. Orange would work, orange leaves or whatever it happened to be. Something that is a treat to stitch. So what do you like to stitch? Something that you really like to stitch on. Something that is tricky to stitch. I might do Kringles on that one because right now I'm using the Petite Treasure braid. It's a little bit trickier for me to use and I've been really slow kind of with it and I kind of want to get a little bit more work. So I do always try to find a place where I could put Kringles in. Something you'd see at a birthday party. I have no idea what I'm going to do for that one yet. I have to think about that. Leaves. That one's pretty easy. Anything that has fall kind of themed things on it probably has some leaves. They don't have to be fall colored. They could just be spring leaves. That's fine. Something with a bumpy texture. So what I mean with that is there's an item in your project, whatever it happens to be. For example, pumpkins generally sometimes they have bumpy textures, right? They're not always smooth. Trees have bumpy textures on them. They're not always smooth. That kind of stuff. So it's not necessarily that a certain type of floss that you're using is bumpy. It's just whatever is on the picture could be considered bumpy. Something spooky. Again, I always kind of go with the theme of the month and then I throw in some other ones, but I figured, it's October. We'll do something spooky. Something you see in a TV show you watch. I don't know yet. I'll have to see what I watch. I'll have to think about what I watch. I'm sure there's options. There's plenty of options because when you really look at things, everyday things, you could, if it's something that takes place in the outdoors, for example, there's trees or whatever. If you say to me, I don't watch TV, I just watch a lot of Flosstube. If you want to consider Flosstube as a TV show, I am accepting that. But the one caveat I am saying on that one though, because you see cross stitch all the time. So that's a little bit broad. So if you were going to use Flosstube as your prompt for that, I am saying then that whatever project you choose, you've seen that project on another Flosstube. Now they could be using different fabrics, flosses, going about it differently. But there's a Flosstube you watch that the Flosstuber is stitching that same project as you want to pick for that prompt. And then the last one is purple. I generally will find purple in something, in some of my projects, whether it's my birthday sale ones or, it could be because I'll probably pick purple fabric for one of them. So those are the 10 prompts. You will find them in a few different places. If you have other questions, you can certainly ask and reach out. But think about the fact that you can make your own kind of game out of it. These are just loose prompts that I've given. So I myself am doing I Spy. I do have my magazine monthly monthly cross stitch challenge Facebook group. They have a cross stick. They also just announced their pop-up Oh My Gourd, so I might do that one as well. The Crafts and Book cross stick, I have that in the book. Is 24 hours of cross stitch this month, and I will probably do some sort of whip frenzy with that. And then I did see Andrew, the runner stitcher, is doing Stitch the Chicago Marathon. So you stitch a certain number of stitches to kind of coincide with the times 10, the number of miles he's running. So I thought that was kind of fun. I might throw it in there because I want to support Andrew in his running and the stitching. So I thought that would be a lot of fun. I don't know if I'll do categories. That's a possibility from Whip Warriors. And then there are a few other groups that I have joined that we will see what they have or if there's something else that jumps out at me. I'm seeing a lot of people doing some things like Spooktober, or there was another kind of play off on the October name. Maybe I'll throw something in there as well as like specific Halloween related ones. Some of these pumpkin ones wouldn't necessarily be Halloween, and some that are Halloween may not have a pumpkin in them. So, you know, kind of like my my library, haunted library. You could sort of call it Halloween, maybe not, but that wouldn't have any pumpkins in it. So I might do something like that too. But that's kind of how my month is playing out so far with my challenges. I do find I really do enjoy having a book that has everything in it. I was getting a little confused otherwise, and this is really kind of, it kind of makes it really nice to have it in one spot. Plus, it's really fun. For example, here's my AB Single. I was able to color everything in, and I find it very satisfying to color things in after they're done. I do the same with like I Spy and the acrostics. So there's something kind of nice about that, and it makes you feel like you've accomplished something. So that's I Spy. And finally, Artist Trading Card. Our last swap of 2024. Mandy, if you're watching, yes, we'll go into 2025. I plan to, at least, hopefully the plan will continue. The last swap for trading cards for 2024, the deadline is October 1st-ish. So I'm going to give you a little ish with that because I wasn't able to remind everybody. And I always give a little leeway anyway, because you might not get to the post office on a specific day. I get it. If you could get it within the first week of October, so the 1st is Tuesday through maybe the 4th, somewhere 5th, if you have to wait till a Saturday. If you can get it sent out by then, no problem. If you do send it after October 1st, maybe if you get a chance, drop me a little line so I know to keep an eye out for it, and I will do so. If you have questions about trading card, I do have a whole playlist on that. At this point, unless you're a very fast stitcher and finisher, you could probably get one done before, say, the 4th or the 5th to mail out, but you're running out of time at this point. And hopefully, I think last year we did one kind of after the January time frame. We started, I think, in February stitching for a kind of a springish, late winter, early spring kind of swap. So that's probably what we'll do again next year. So if you miss out on this one, keep an eye out on that. When we are in the deep of winter, well, here in the States, in the deep of winter, maybe not in the other areas of the world, but that's when after the holidays are over, that's when we'll kick up and try another swap. So that's that. Check the playlist though if you have questions about how you're supposed to mail it and things like that. I talk about that on the last video where I talked about fall 2024 swaps. So that's it. That's all of the stuff I wanted to talk about. And I talk enough about my projects during the videos that I figured I need to do an extra, or we'll have a 3-hour video on Friday. So that's that. Welcome to October. I'm super excited for the month to be here, and so much kind of fun and celebration and fun stitching to do. So until next time I see you, happy stitching.